Now let us dive deeper into our lesson. So we are talking about factorization, and we understand what the term factor means, what it means to factor out a number from another number. And we also did common factors and HCFs. All right, so those are really basic in basic mathematics. But when we're talking about factorization, that really becomes necessary to have at this time. So in factorization, there are different types, or maybe you want to use the term forms of how we can factorize. So we have like just your basic factorization, like where you have to, like what we did just now, like two terms being factorized. We may have three terms being factorized, and those are just basic stuff, right? We have other areas where it gets complicated when we talk about trinomials, and be talking about that soon. And trinomials, they come in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So factorize, when it comes on to trinomials in factorization, it comes in this term, in this form. So anytime you see something looking at like this, it's really a trinomial we're talking about. You have other forms such as the difference of two squares. So the difference of two squares. And we also have perfect squares. Perfect squares. So we have perfect squares and we have the difference of two squares. Those are two different things. And lastly but not least, we have our quadratic expressions. So we can also talk about that one, but that one is not hard. All right, so these are literally the forms in which you are given to factorizing. So we're just gonna do them step by step, and let's have a look at that. So we're gonna start with the basic, which we actually just covered, but we're just gonna do a little touch on it. All right, so starting with the basics, we have two terms. So this is term one and this is term two. So this is one expression. Here we have three terms, one, two, three. This now is another expression. So 2a squared minus 3ab. The first thing that we're going to look at is the 2 and the 3. Is there any common factors between 2 and 3? So listing out the factors of 2, we know that 2 is really a prime number, which is just 1 in itself. 3 is another prime number, and as I said, prime numbers is just 1 in itself. So the only thing we could take out for the 2 is 1. Right? That's the only common factor there. So with the a squared and the ab, if you look now, we don't have any b here, but we have a here and we also have a there. So we can take out the a, and we take out the a with the lower index, which is 1. If this was a2 and this is a3 for argument's sake, if this was a3, we would take out a2. But in this scenario, it's just a1. Once you don't see any power above the a, we know that is just 1. So bracket. So remember, in dividing, if I'm going to take out the a, if I'm dividing, if you remember that when we're dividing terms, let me just use an example right here. If we're dividing terms where we have a squared being divided by a, the rule is that whenever you have the same base, we rewrite the base and subtract the powers. 2 minus 1 is just 1. So where we have a being divided by a squared, we're just going to subtract 1 from it because this is a to the power of 1. So all I'm left with is 2a to the power of 1. So we just have that right there. Now next, we can just put back our subtraction sign. And here we have it. We have 3ab. If we're dividing this by a, the a is just going to cancel out that a. So all I'm left with is just 3b. And that really is simplifying your algebraic expression. Down here, if we look closely, we have three terms. And in our three terms, we have x squared, y squared. If we look again, we have a here, and we also have x and y again. We also have b here, and we have x and y again. Now, in doing this form of algebra, in simplifying this, what we do is that we look at all three terms and we see what is common amongst all three of our terms. So what is common is that we have x to the power of y. So remember, when it comes on to variables, we take out the variable with the lower or the lowest index. So we look at our x, and we're going to see that x to the power of 1 is the lowest of the index. So we have just x to the power of 1. Now y is the same thing. The lower or the lowest one is y to the power of 1. So we just take out just the y. So if I'm dividing now, x is going to take out 1 of the x, which is just going to equal to 1. So I'm left with just 1x, or x to the power of 1. Same thing with the y, it's going to be subtracted, and I'm just left with 1 y to the power of 1. Minus, these are already to the power of 1, so they are going to be cancelled out, so I'm left with just the a. And then now plus bxy squared. The b is still going to be there because we're not taking it out, so we can write back the b. And the x is going to cancel out this x, and the y is going to subtract 1 from this power, which is just 1. So I'm left now with b's, x is cancelled out, so we have b, and with y to the power of 1. There you have it. So that is factorizing three terms in the simplest form that there is. Now, when you're given to solve an algebraic expression where we have four terms, we are now going to factorize a quadratic expression. So a quadratic expression, as the term quad refers to a group of four, right? So quad refers to 4. So we have 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 terms there, and we are now going to factorize. Now, if we look carefully, we have these two with the a's, right? So we have a that is common here, and here we have b that is common there. We could have regrouped it and have 4ax and put back the bx right here. We could have done that, but we don't really have to do that. We could have done that. But as I just said, is that is not necessary, but I'm just doing it so that you can see ways in which we can be flexible in factorizing our expressions. So when we have 4 terms, we could just regroup and then factorize if there's nothing common, right? So for example, this never had a. We could have just regrouped it where we would have the y and the y being common, so this wouldn't be there. So that is cases like those you can regroup. But like in this case, we don't have to. But as I said before, I want to be as flexible in my teaching so we can understand. Because when you're given some expressions, you can just look back at this video, and it will even help you to factorize those problems. So here now we have x and x. So we know that is the first thing that we can look at as common. But before we go there, always focus on your coefficients first. So coefficients, we have 4. So the both of them are common, 4 and 4. We don't even have to think about what is the factors of 4, right? We can just take out the 4 because the 4 is common. So we look at our variables now, we also see that x is common, and both of them is being raised to the power of 1. So we just take that out. So in taking that out, the 4 is going to cancel out this 4, and x is going to cancel out this x. So all I'm left with is a. This 4 is going to cancel out this 4 again, and this x is going to cancel out this x. So all I'm left with is just my b. So one of the other things I should have mentioned is that when you're factorizing quadratics, is that we actually group them as 2 terms. So we are focusing on doing 2 terms, and then we're going to do the other 2 terms afterwards. So here now we are right here. So we put a plus sign right here. We close the brackets, put a plus sign there. And then here now we're just going to take out what is common. So we have 6. And in both cases now we have the y that is common. So we have y. In bracket, the 6 is going to cancel out that 6 and the y is going to cancel that y. And then we're left with a minus. Again, the 6 is cancelling out that and also the y, a minus b. One of the unique things about solving quadratics is that when we look at quadratics, if we look at the brackets, we have a minus b and we have a minus b. So what we can do now is to further simplify that expression. So we could just have the 4x plus 6y plus 6y in one bracket, and then in another bracket, right, is that both we're going to just regroup, right? We're just group these as one. So we're just going to have a minus b. And that really is your final solution right there.